Lights, camera, action!
Y'all, I am in absolute pain. I worked out earlier this week. First real workout in a while. And discovered a couple of things. Number one, the time that I'd taken off from like real workouts, I felt it. Felt a decrease in strength. Pretty embarrassing to not even like finish all my reps. I was just like hitting failure just like way too early with the weights that I was working with. I was just like, oh no. Oh, is this normal? Oh no. So there's that. But I could also feel that I was going to be sore. One of my big motivators when I was going to the gym heavy was to avoid the soreness, the DOMS. If you're familiar with that term, you know what DOMS is like the muscle soreness after a workout. What is it? Delayed onset muscle soreness. But I could tell right away, I was just like, okay, I'm gonna be hurting after this workout. And sure enough, yesterday I was in a little bit of pain. I was like, oh, this is sore. But whatever, I was able to power through, get through the workday. It's like, all right, bet. Today, oh no. Today I was damn near paralyzed by the pain. Like, I mean, I know they say to keep moving because stiffness contributes to the soreness, but I was like, forget that. I was like, no, I can't. I mean, it was to the point where I called out of work today. I was like, I can't. I'm in pain. I can barely move, barely able to put on my shirt, brush my teeth, make a little breakfast. Like, I'm just like, oh, this is tragic. So my day is damn near gone. I don't even know. I might try to hit the gym later. It depends, but right now the way that I'm feeling, like I'm in absolute pain. I can barely move my arm, son. Barely. Never again. I can't stop. I gotta keep it moving. That's the only way to prevent this from happening. I also stopped by FedEx office. So I printed out my most recent script, my action adventure script. I'll call it Jungle Fortune. And I printed it out because I like to have my scripts in tangible form. Like anything that I read, I like for it to be in tangible form. It's very difficult for me to read something like on a screen, if it's supposed to be printed, if that makes sense. So, you know, whether it's my script or whether someone else sends me their script to read, whether it's just any kind of document, I don't know. It's a psychological thing, clearly, because for my survival gig, you know, I'm reading and editing stuff all day. But if it's something that I know is supposed to be like on the printed page, then for me, it has to be on the printed page. So I say all that to say, I printed out a copy of this latest draft of Jungle Fortune. I'm just going to go through it, make sure everything's everything, and I'm going to send it off to as well as to a few people just to get some feedback. I just want to know if it works. Especially this new version, this new draft. Jungle Fortune is an idea that I've had for a very, very long time. Probably like 10 years now, if we're going to be honest. And it's vastly different from the original idea. Like, my original conception of this idea is vastly different, and it's morphed into what it is now, which I truly love. I was a little dismayed when I saw the trailer for The Lost City. This maybe like back in December or whatever, when I first saw the trailer for The Lost City, because I was like, oh great, a jungle comedy, contemporary jungle comedy is coming out, and I was just really worried that it was going to be so close to my idea and use like similar jokes. I was just really wondering if this was something that was even worth continuing to work on, because like I said, I've had this idea for like 10 years now, inspired by everything from like Romancing the Stone to like the Indiana Jones movies to even movies like The Rundown and 6 Days, 7 Nights. Like all these jungle and adventure themed movies really inspired and influenced this idea. So when I saw the trailer for The Lost D, I was a bit apprehensive. I was just like, damn. But then I actually saw the film. It's a good film. It's very funny. Sandra Bullock and Channing Tatum. I enjoyed it. But it's different enough for my idea that I felt comfortable about moving forward with Jungle Fortune. So that's what I've been working on. And in addition to printing out a copy of Jungle Fortune, I also printed out the outline, beat sheet for the next script I want to write, which I'm titling Azalea. Azalea is another idea that I've had for a while, and it's inspired by my experience, what I was going through when I was dealing with my mother, like the last few years of her life, and a lot of the challenges that I faced, and a lot of the truths that I sort of came to realize in that time. And so I just wanted to kind of explore that. I thought about writing about my experience as a book. When I was telling y'all that, I have ideas for a couple of nonfiction books, that was one of them. To just kind of like tell just like a straightforward, just kind of like telling of like, what happened with my mother and everything. And if you're not aware of the story or whatever, I'll put like a card up in the corner to a video that I did that talks about it. But told me to write a script that was personal, and I was just like, well, this is the most personal thing that I can think of, at least currently. So I'm drawing inspiration from those years and from those events and from how I feel about what happened, and I'm crafting a script around that, and I'm titling it Azalea. So we'll see. Right now, the way I'm thinking of it in my head, it's not going to be as overly comedic as the scripts that I've been putting out. All of my scripts that I've been pushing, like recently, they've all been heavily comedic, heavy on like slapstick, heavy on snark, heavy on even things like sight gags and just kind of like surrealism in some places. But this is, I imagine this to be the most straightforward story, the most realistic, the most serious, the most dramatic. Not to say that there won't be funny parts. I mean, clearly there's got to be some humor. It's just not going to be as overtly comedic as my previous scripts. Couple of other things, thinking of applying to Coverfly's Pitch Week. I don't know. I mean, I've seen some people on Twitter talk about it. Some people have had some success with it, whether it's like getting signed with agencies or managers or talking to producers or getting staffed in rooms. Hey, I figure I might as well. Now I've got like a diverse body of work that I can present. So if someone is just like, hey Jay, what do you have? Well, I have 3 features and I have a pilot. The 3 features I feel strongly about. The pilot, it's interesting. I've gotten some mixed feedback on the pilot. If you don't remember, I talked about this when I said that I submitted my pilot to We Screenplay to get some coverage. And it's just really interesting that what a lot of people are saying regarding the pilot is that they don't know what the show would be about. They can't get a handle on what the premise of the show is. And I think that's really interesting because I feel like the pilot sums up the whole premise of the show. It's a condensed and contained telling of what will happen throughout the series. So it's based on let me back up. So my pilot is based on my novel Guest List. And Guest List is about a young woman who meets and essentially begins to date a well-known party promoter. And most of the chapters take place at a different party, at a different type of party. And so it's really about this courtship between this young woman and this party promoter as they attend these different events within the world of nightlife. And I tried to present that, the types of characters, the types of things that you would see, whether it's like the champagne, bringing champagne to the VIP and opening the bottle, rubbing shoulders with celebrities, or whether you're one of the people who's not cool enough to be in VIP, and so you're stuck on the outside, outside the club, hating on those that can get in. And so I felt that the premise was kind of obvious. Maybe it's because I've written an entire book that deals with the storyline, and so I already have a guide as to how a TV series, at least like the first season, would play out. Say all that to say, I have a pilot, but I don't know if that pilot is truly representative of my talent or if it's what people are looking for. I do have an idea for another pilot, and it has been suggested to me that I at least have one pilot in the stash. So I'm going to try to develop this second idea that I have. Now that I'm finished with Jungle Fortune, and I finished the outline for Azalea. I think that I can take some time to devote to developing this idea for this second pilot that I have. And I'm also going to just get back into Jamie Nash's Save the Cat writes for TV. I need a refresher because writing for television and writing for movies, they're just two different disciplines. They're two different beasts. And so I really just kind of like get into that television, I guess, writing mindset. Maybe watch a few more TV shows, whatever. But I do want to have a pilot in the stash so that I've got one. Hopefully, with this pilot, with the guest list pilot, and with the 3 features that I've got, hopefully that's a diverse enough, deep enough portfolio so that when I submit for pitch week and for whatever else, people ask that question, what do you got? I say, hey, I got this. What else you got? I got this. What else you got? I got this. What else you got? I got this. All right, so I'm still very much in pain. Gonna try to move around a little more. I'm hoping that tomorrow the DOMs won't be as intense. Get back in the gym, do the survival gig, get into the pilot. It's GSD, getting shit done.